Hey everybody, it is Wednesday, and that means I'm on my website, katimorton.com. If you haven't gone on there, you should check it out. It's really cool. Also, I'm on YouTube. So if you asked your questions below yesterday's video or the video before, I have compiled them and I'm going to answer them for you right now. So the first question, and this is something I get a lot from many of you, all different flavors of the same type of question. Now this question says, I'm wondering why I feel so inadequate and what to do, or what do I do to believe that I'm not? I've missed 2 exams this week with a written note from my therapist and I just feel awful. It seems like my low self-esteem voices have crossed over from telling me that I'm an awful person to also contaminating the only part of me that I still believe was good, my academics. Now, I don't even believe that I can do that anymore. How do I keep this from spreading into all aspects of my life? I get questions like this all the time, and just like you're saying, it's almost like you know what you need to do, but it's really hard. And I know it's a lot of hard work, but we have to talk back to those voices. Like you said, it feels like those low self-esteem voices have crossed over. And they will take over everything if we don't tell them to shut the hell up. And it's not as easy as that, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we really have to start talking back to them and telling them positive things. It's like you have to negate every negative with a positive. And truthfully, in the therapy world, we like a ratio of 5 to 1. I almost said 5 to 5. What am I doing? 5 to 1. 5 positives for every 1 negative. Now, I know that that's like a overwhelming goal right now, but I would like to get it more for like every 1 bad, or every, let's say 5 bad things, we have like 3 good things. Let's try to make it more 1 to 1 and move in that direction, because you will feel a difference. Now, we're all going to have times we feel really down, and it can be because of a stressful event, something, something's happened and it's shooken us out of our regular routine. But talking back and constantly doing it, I know it's hard work, I know it's annoying, but if you haven't taken a look at my eating disorder workbook, the task 1 is talking back to that voice, and it gives you kind of an idea of where to start. So even if you don't have an eating disorder or anything, you can download that and work on it. And my self-harm workbook is coming out very, very, very soon, so stay tuned. Okay, and I know that's not an easy answer to take, but I promise it'll help, okay? Question number 2. Is it normal for your eating disorder to go through ups and downs? A couple months ago, it got a lot worse, but now it's really kind of slowing down. Do EDs stay consistent, or do they typically go through these different levels of intensity depending on what other stressors you're dealing with? Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. Love your videos. It's very normal. To be honest, I think almost all my clients go through that kind of wave thing. I find the only time that it's really consistently, let's say, shitty and the eating disorder is taking over is when we have hit what I call their rock bottom. Everybody's rock bottom is different, but some of my clients, when they go into residential, they'll be at their rock bottom. Some people, it won't be until being in residential for a month, and then they'll be like, oh, they'll feel that how bad it was. But it's very normal because, like I've said before, the reason we have our eating disorder is because it's a coping skill for whatever's going on. So if we're stressed out, if we have a really tough time being around family, we know family stuff is coming up, that can really send us through the roof. And that will be why our eating disorder will flare up. And then when things are calm, it will calm down because there's less need for that coping skill. Okay, does that make sense? Question number 3, can eating disorders be genetic? Now, I get this question a lot, and a lot of people have wondered about it. And this person says, after I started having bulimic/anorexic behaviors, I found out that my mother also had bulimia. A lot of my clients will find that out. Just like I said in my video yesterday about disordered eating, that a lot of my parents have those behaviors, almost like eating disorder light, right? It's like they've kind of got it a little bit. But we used to think back in the 70s and 80s when eating disorders first became top hot topics, people talk about it, they thought it was like a problem that we had because our parents were over controlling and we were just acting out. And they thought it was only women. And we've learned a lot since then, right? And we've come a long way. And now they believe that there is a link genetically. And from what I've read, because I get alerts every time they talk about eating disorders, and one of the, well, actually, I guess like 3 of the articles I read all agreed that there is something in our chromosomes, chromosome 1 and chromosome 10, they believe are looking, like they may lead to eating disorders, and they may be what causes it. Now, I think it's always a nature and nurture together that create the problem, because some of us could be predisposed to have a lot of things, but if we're not put in a situation where we have a trauma or We get so stressed out, we have our first panic attack. If we aren't put in those situations, some things may never come about. So I believe it's both, but they do believe there is a genetic component, and they link it to chromosomes 1 and chromosome 10. Okay? Now, final question. What are your thoughts on parents who search their child's room for self-harm tools, diet pills, etc.? I always tell my parents that I call them mine because they come to my office to talk to me about things. So the parents that come into my office, I always tell them that you're not the food police, you're not the self-harm police, you're just not the police. And I encourage my clients to bring things to me and to leave them with me. I won't throw them out. We can always get them back. We kind of reach an agreement where they can bring things in to be safe when they're not with me. I don't encourage it. I wouldn't say I look down on it and I'm like, shame, 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 because they're really doing it out of love, but I'm not a huge fan. I don't really think that it's helpful because it's not treating the underlying issue. We're just taking away the tools, and we all know we can get more tools and we can find new hiding places. Trust me, I've had clients hide things in the craziest of places. Where there's a will, there's a way. So I would say no. I think we need to treat the underlying issue, and they'll when we're struggling, we'll gladly give that stuff up. You don't have to go searching through things. And it feels like a violation. So it doesn't really build on the whole trust thing, okay? Now, no journal topic today, I'm sorry, but I have something important to talk about because there have been changes to YouTube. And some of you will leave comments below, and I won't be able to comment back because you have to add me to your circles on Google+. Now, if any of you have a YouTube a way to sign into YouTube, you have a name and a whatever, not necessarily even a channel, but if you just have a sign in, you have a Google Plus, and you can find me in Google Plus, and you can add me. And also they want you to +1 things now as well as like. So try to do that so we can keep spreading awareness, because our community is growing and everybody's helping everybody, and it's wonderful. So we want to keep that energy and that momentum going. And since they're kind of changing the rules of the game, a lot of people are getting pissed off, but it's still a great vehicle for us to reach others, don't you think? So make sure you like them as well as give me a +1, which sounds like I'm going to an event with you, right? You're my +1, but that's what they want you to do. And so if some of you are commenting below and you're like, hey, Katie, you're not responding. I'm trying, but if you haven't added me to your circles, I can't respond back. And I've tried to kind of let some of you know and send you messages and stuff, but it's a little trickier now. But yeah, so we're going to keep working on it. And also if you add me on Google Plus, you get alerted more quickly, and I actually get your comments faster, and they come up on top of everything else. So they'll get approved faster and commented back on faster. So that's a little plus, right? Okay. And I think that's it. If any of you have questions about that or concerns, let me know. And I'm learning as you're learning, and we'll keep working together towards a healthy mind and a healthy body. And I'll see you all tomorrow on Thursday on Twitter. So ask your questions, use the hashtag KatieFAQ, and I'll see you then. Bye.